The General Certificate of Secondary Education is an academically rigorous, internationally recognized qualification awarded in a specified subject, generally taken in a number of subjects by pupils in secondary education in England, Wales and Northern Ireland over 2 years. One of the main changes to previous educational qualifications in the United Kingdom was to allow pupils to complete coursework during their 2 years of study, which was marked by their teachers and contributed to their final examination grade. There has been a move recently from doing coursework and modular examinations for part of the course when pupils would take exams throughout the course to an end-of-year exam after the 2 years of study. The exams are being revised to make them more difficult, such as testing skills from a whole text in English instead of part of a text. Coursework has now been replaced by controlled assessments in certain subjects, in which the student completes a number of assessed pieces of work which will ultimately count towards their final examination grade in the specified subject. The controlled assessment component of the qualification is usually done under exam-style conditions. The qualification is equivalent to a Level 1 or Level 2 key skills qualification. Some pupils may decide to take one or more GCSEs before or after they sit the others, and people may apply to take GCSEs at any point, either internally through an institution or externally. The education systems of current and former British territories, such as Gibraltar, Nigeria and South Africa, also offer the qualification, as supplied by the same examination boards. Other former British colonies, such as Singapore and Zimbabwe, continue to use the O-level qualification. The international version of the GCSE is the IGCSE, which can be taken anywhere in the world, and which includes additional options relating to coursework and the language the qualification is pursued in. All subjects completed in the 5th of the European Baccalaureate are generally equivalent to the GCSE's subjects. Prior education to GCSE level is generally required of pupils wishing to pursue A-level courses or the BTEC Extended Diploma and International Baccalaureate. GCSE exams were introduced as the compulsory school leavers examinations by the Government of the United Kingdom. GCSE examinations are typically taken at the age of 16 but may be taken at any age. Structure. In secondary high schools, GCSE courses are taken in a variety of subjects. Typically, study of chosen subjects begins at the start of Year 10. Some subjects start earlier, for example maths, English and science, because these courses are too long to be taught within 2 years. Final examinations are taken at the end of Year 11. In Northern Ireland, these age groups are designated as 1-year group higher, so that Year 9 elsewhere is equivalent to Year 10 in Northern Ireland, and so forth. The number of subjects a pupil studies at GCSE level can vary. Usually somewhere between 8 and 10 subjects are studied, though it is not uncommon for more, or fewer, subjects to be studied. In secondary schools, GCSEs are compulsory in the core subjects. The only requirement is that in state schools English, mathematics, science and physical education are studied during Key Stage 4. In England and Northern Ireland, pupils following the national curriculum must also study some form of information communication technology and citizenship. In Wales, Welsh must also be studied. These subjects do not have to be taught for any examination, though it is normal for at least English, mathematics and science to be studied to GCSE level. For the reasons above, virtually all pupils take GCSEs in English, mathematics and science. In addition, many schools also require that pupils take English literature, at least one modern foreign language, at least one design and technology subject, religious education, and ICT. Pupils can then fill the remainder of their timetable with their own choice of subjects. Short course GCSEs or other qualifications, such as BTECs, can also be taken. grading at the end of the two-year GCSE course. Candidates receive a grade for each subject that they have sat. The pass grades, from highest to lowest, are A*, B, C, D, E, F and G. Grade U signifies that a pupil achieved nothing worthy of credit, therefore no GCSE is awarded to the pupil in that subject. GCSEs are part of the National Qualifications Framework. A GCSE at grades DG is a Level 1 qualification, while a GCSE at grades A*C is a Level 2 qualification. GCSEs at A*C are much more desirable and insisted on by many employers and educational institutions. Level 1 qualifications are required to advance to Level 2 qualifications. Likewise, Level 2 qualifications are required to advance to Level 3 qualifications. Pupils can also receive an X grade, which signifies that they have completed only part of the course or that key elements such as coursework are missing, and so an appropriate grade cannot be given. A Q grade means that the clarification is needed by the exam board, whom the school should contact. Both X and Q are normally temporary grades and replaced with a regular grade when the situation has been resolved. X grades are also very rarely used by some exam boards to indicate that the examiner found offending material, usually hate speech, within one of the exam papers that a pupil took. In some cases this may cause the pupil to lose all marks for that particular paper, and occasionally for the entire course. X grades are most common in subjects where ethical issues are raised or there is a question which requires the pupil to express his personal opinion on a scientific, religious view. Notable areas where this can occur are biology and religious education studies. Tiers in many subjects. There are two different tiers of examination offered. Higher, where pupils can achieve grades A*D or a U. Foundation, where they can achieve grades CG or a U. If a candidate fails to obtain at least a grade G on the foundation tier or a grade E on the higher tier, they will fail the course and receive a U. Candidates who narrowly miss a grade D on the higher tier, however, are awarded a grade E. In modular subjects, pupils may mix and match tiers between units. In non-tiered subjects, such as history, the examination paper allows candidates to achieve any grade. Coursework and controlled assessment also always allows candidates to achieve any grade. The GCSE mathematics exam syllabus changed from a three-tier system, foundation grades, intermediate and higher, to the standard two-tier system described above. Source: Joint Council for General Qualifications via Brian Stubbs. Note: in the final year DES statistics for O-levels are available, and across all subjects, 6.8% of candidates obtained a grade A, and 39.8% an AC. UK GCSE classifications from June 1988: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 1990, 1995, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015, A*, B, C, D, E, F, G, U. Further education receiving 5 or more A*C grades, including English and Maths, is often a requirement for taking A-levels and BTEC Level 3 at a sixth form college or at a further education college after leaving secondary school. Where the choice of A-level is a subject taken at GCSE level, it is frequently required that the pupil has received a GCSE C grade minimum. Most universities typically require a C or better in English and mathematics, regardless of a pupil's performance in their A-level, BTEC or foundation degree course after leaving school. Many pupils who fail to get a C in English and mathematics will retake their GCSEs in those subjects at a later date, in order to take further education at a sixth form college. As well as choosing to take A-levels after GCSEs, pupils can also choose to do BTEC courses. Some pupils do them alongside A-levels and they count for 1 or 2 A-levels. However, some pupils may go to a college to study only what is known as a B.Tech extended diploma in one certain subject. This course is 2 years long, and pupils can earn the necessary 3 A-levels required to gain a university place. The reason some pupils decide to take a B.Tech is because it allows them to focus solely on an area they are certain to go into in the future, often in a vocational and practical way. Leading universities often take into account performance at GCSE level, sometimes expecting applicants to have a high proportion of A and A* grades. Controlled assessment in some subjects. One or more controlled assessment assignments may also be completed. Controlled assessment can contribute to anything from 10 to 60% of a pupil's final grade, with more practical subjects, such as design and technology, art, ICT, music and English often having a heavier coursework element. The rest of a pupil's grade is determined by their performance in examinations. These exams may either be terminal exams at the end of Year 11, a series of modular examinations, or taken throughout the course, or a combination of the two. Pupils can sometimes resit modular examinations later in the course and attempt to improve their grade. One positive to CA is that it can help to ease the stress of examination because pupils can earn a percentage of their final exam grade earlier in the year. The downside is that this means pupils have a greater workload to complete, sometimes having to produce a large amount of work for a minimal part of the overall grade. For example, in English a pupil may have to complete 4 pieces of coursework, each over 1,000 words long, which individually only account for 5% of the grade. However, this varies between exam boards. Controlled assessment was usually completed outside of lessons. However, concerns about cheating have meant that more and more is now being completed in the classroom, under supervision. For many courses, including those in economics, science and history, a requirement is meanwhile that controlled assessment is completed in a controlled environment within schools. Design and technology subjects also switch to the new, more controlled environment, with time limits and restrictions on the variety of projects allowed. A governmental survey investigation shows that most teachers are deeply dissatisfied with controlled assessment examination boards. The curriculum and awarding of GCSEs has always been performed by a number of independent examination groups, initially under the supervision of the National Curriculum Council and the School Examinations and Assessment Council. This oversight has subsequently been passed on to the School Curriculum and Assessment Authority, Qualifications and Curriculum Authority, National Council for Vocational Qualifications, Ordered Sime Wisterau, CWRI CWLWM Accessu Cymru, the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation, and Qualifications Wales. There are now 5 UK examination boards offering GCSEs. Assessment and Qualifications Alliance, which consolidated the AEB, JMB, NEAB, and SEG. Oxford, Cambridge and RSA examinations, which consolidated the Oxford and Cambridge, MEG and RSA exam boards. Edexcel, formerly known as Pearson Edexcel, London Examinations, BTEC or ULEAC. Welsh Joint Education Committee, Council for the Curriculum, Examinations and Assessment. While all boards are regulated by the Government of the United Kingdom, the boards are self-sufficient organisations. Traditionally there were a larger number of regional exam boards, but changes in legislation allowed schools to use any board before a series of mergers reduced the number to 5. Results. Pupils receive the results of their GCSEs in the 4th week of August. CCEA publish their results on the Tuesday and the other examination boards publish theirs on the Thursday. Normally, pupils have to go to their school to collect their results, although Edexcel allow for the option of an online results service. criticism. There have been comments that the GCSE system is a dumbing down from the old GCE level system. In addition, GCSE grades have been rising for many years, which critics attribute to grade inflation. By comparing pupils' scores in the YELLIS ability test with their GCSE results within a period of approximately 20 years, Robert co-found a general increase in results which ranges from 0.2 to 0.8 of a GCSE grade. Only slightly more than half of pupils sitting GCSE exams achieve the 5A** to C grades required for most forms of academic further education. One of the important differences between previous educational qualifications and the later GCSE qualifications was supposed to be a move from norm reference marking to criterion reference marking. On a norm-referenced grading system, fixed percentages of candidates achieve each grade. With criterion-referenced grades, in theory, all candidates who achieve the criteria can achieve the grade. A comparison of a clearly norm-referenced assessment, such as the NFER Cognitive Ability Test or CAT, with GCSE grading seems to show an unexpected correlation, which challenges the idea that the GCSE is a properly criterion-based assessment. The incorporation of GCSE awards into school league tables, and the setting of school-level targets, at above national average levels of attainment, has been criticized. At the time of introduction, the E grade was intended to be equivalent to the CSE grade 4, and so obtainable by a candidate of average median ability. Sir Keith Joseph set schools a target to have 90% of their pupil obtain a minimum of a grade F. The target was achieved nationally in summer of 2005. David Blunkett went further and set schools the goal of ensuring 50% of 16-year-olds gain 5 GCSEs or equivalent at grade C and above, requiring schools to devise a means for 50% of their pupils to achieve the grades previously only obtained by the top 30%. This was achieved by the summer of 2004 with the help of equivalent and largely vocational qualifications, labeling schools failing if they are unable to achieve at least 5 Cs, including English and Maths at GCSE, for 40% of their pupils has also been criticized, as it essentially requires 40% of each intake to achieve the grades only obtained by the top 20% at the time of the qualification's introduction. In recent years, concerns about standards has led some public schools to go as far as to complement GCSEs with IGCSEs within their curriculum, and to take their pupils straight to A-level or the BTEC. Other public schools, such as the Manchester Grammar School, are replacing the GCSEs with IGCSEs in which there is an option to do no coursework. The new science syllabus has led to many public schools switching to the IGCSE double award syllabus. In recent years, there were a number of complaints that GCSEs and GCE levels were marked unfairly of the exam script, detect a marking error, following a decision to change the grade boundaries. Recently, for the first time in the entire history of the exams, the proportion of all GCSEs awarded an A*C grade fell. Another incident includes a GCSE maths exam paper where there were complaints about a particularly difficult question later named in the media as the Hannah's Sweets question. People complained that they found the question difficult or unintelligible. The complaints originated on Twitter, and then were reported on several media websites. However, after the situation calmed down, several teachers, experts and students delivered the solution to the question via the media. Moreover, the publication of soft subjects and academic subjects for GCSEs and A-levels by the universities of Oxford and Cambridge has created an ongoing educational debate where, on the one hand, many educational experts would support this division of importance, whereas, on the other hand, many head teachers would not only disagree but actually oppose a move to solely traditional academic GCSE subjects. Also, the OECD has expressed its concerns over potential grade inflation of GCSEs and A-levels in the UK in a published report where the OECD put forward the theory that exam boards may be competing for candidates by lowering standards to secure more entries despite the British government overseeing exam standards. Gender bias is another area of concern. Department of Education data shows that the relative performance gap between boys and girls widens significantly under GCSEs, compared with O-levels.